So, what did I do? So, Tuesday I went to pole class for the first time, and that was fun. And it was nice because there's like 2 person to each pole, so that it kind of forces you to socialize. And I don't know if it was a British thing or if it was just everyone being nervous, but everyone was nervous and shy, and barely anyone talked to each other except for like the people that were sharing the pole with each other. So I was sharing with this girl who was somehow shorter than I am, and she was really nice. I know, Lewis said the same thing, my Polish pronunciations. I know, she's shorter than I am. She was not a child, no. But, so, we had to share the one together. And, whenever the instructor would tell us to do something, she would go first a lot of the times. And I'm very impressed with myself, because part of the reason I started going to the gym was because I was like, I want to be in at least a little bit of shape, or at least a little bit stronger before I start like a pole dancing class. And so when the first thing that we had to do was we had to stand on our tiptoes, put our dominant hand on the top and our non-dominant hand underneath, and then we had to push our body up against the pole and then pull our legs upwards to be around the pole but bent at the knee. And I was, I think, the only person who could do it consistently and without struggling. And so I was very happy with that. And the girl who was my partner was like, wow, that looks easy for you, because she was having like a struggle. And then there was another person that was having enough difficulty with it where they had to have, the instructor had to hold them up to do it because it's not easy. I'm not humble bragging, because the rest of it I didn't feel super confident with, which was more of the like almost like rhythmy stuff, because we didn't do anything super intense. But we learned like walking around the pole where you're like holding it and then your weight is leaning against it. And then we had to do where your weight swings you around it, but not like just stood on the floor. And then we had to do one where we put our knee up and then you swing around on your knee. And that one I was not very good at, because I was like, the pole was the non-spinning kind. Like it's a static one and then you can turn it to spinning if you want to, but that's harder. So we were doing it static, and I just like, I don't know if my hands were just, they were too grippy, so I wasn't sliding around as good. I don't know. They did not say, Bubba, you're so strong. They didn't. And also I kept doing like, when I was doing the spinning around thing, I kept accidentally putting my left hand on top. So she kept having to correct me for that. Hello. But it was fun. It was a fun time. And the thing that surprised me the most was by the time that we got to the last exercise that we were doing, and then after that was like, just do whatever you want that you learned that day. I was so dizzy. I didn't think about it. Because I was walking around the pole in the same direction each time, like clockwise, so that my right hand would be the dominant one on top, and then when you switch and your left hand is the dominant one on top. But since I was walking around the same direction like over and over again and then spinning around it, I got to a point where I was like, I don't feel like super dizzy or anything, but I just feel nauseous and like kind of like ugh. And then the girl that was my partner was like, yeah, I feel kind of sick too. And I asked the instructor about it. I was like, what do you do if you feel like dizzy from it? And she was like, I feel dizzy from it all the time. Literally before you guys got here, I was lying down on the floor, trying to stop spinning. And I was like, oh, that's not great. Well, I get one from my apartment. I don't think I have any room in my apartment, because in this office, There's like a little bit of space to my left before the window, because you can basically see where the window is. And then in front of me, I think there's probably about like 4 or 5 feet before the wall. And then there's a corner too, but that's where my like closet is. And then I think in the living room, I just don't have space for it either, unfortunately, but I do want to get one. So we'll see. I did go in the opposite direction to see if it would help me feel less dizzy, but it did not work. Put one in the office, in the Yogg's office. There's enough room there. Maybe I'll just borrow one of the recording rooms and say this belongs to me now.